The Sports Renegades podcast on SportsTownChicago.com. All right. Welcome back to the Sports Renegades here on SportsTownChicago.com. I'm Ryan Stuprich.
And I'm Ryan Risky.
Apparently, earlier today, the White Sox turned a 7-6-3 triple play against the Royals. So that's pretty exciting.
That'll be the highlight of their season.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm going to look at it right now. I'm not sure if they won today, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, it went to the outfield and then to second base and then to first. Wow. That's some bad base running by the Royals, by the way.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be a good base running team. Wow, that's pretty interesting.
They made the White Sox look good.
Yeah, I mean, only in spring training would something like this happen, I would think.
Right, the White Sox can't do something like that in the regular season.
It was caught by the left fielder, and then second baseman stepped on second, and then threw to first for the triple play.
That must have been like a double steal, and the batter didn't see the sign.
Yeah, I can't tell if it was a double steal, but yeah, it could have been. The White Sox lost 9-2 today, so that didn't really. I guess that was the highlight of the day. The Cubs lost 10-8. The Cubs only had one spring training win. Not that it matters, but it's just a little strange that they only have one win. I think they're 1-7 or 1-8, something like that.
Guess how many point underdogs the Bulls are to beat the Spurs tonight?
It's got to be double digits. So I would say maybe 10 or 11 points.
15.
15. Ooh, that's a little high, I guess, but I could see it. I mean, the Bulls could lose by worse than that. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, it looks like that game just started. It's 4-2 San Antonio right now. So they just started. We'll start off talking about the Cubs. We'll talk about the White Sox too a little bit. The Cubs so far this spring, that they've still been relying on the home run ball a lot. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just
you need to get guys on base
to
hit them.
Right? Yeah, that's how they've been getting a majority of their runs this spring so far. It's not a big deal. I think Jake Arrieta yesterday threw 3 perfect innings or 2 perfect innings. So that was nice to see.
That sounds like Jake Arrieta.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he had the no-hitter last year, and he's going to get the perfect game this year, right? If he wants to build on it, that's what he should do, right?
Yep.
So hopefully he'll be able to do that. And, of course, Dexter Fowler, I don't think we were on the air. We weren't on the air last week when Dexter Fowler came back to the Cubs, so we should talk a little bit about that and sort of, how, it's pretty interesting. Of course, all the news outlets and everyone was saying that he had already signed with Baltimore. Apparently, that wasn't the case, and actually him and his agent were pretty upset about that.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me.
It doesn't shock me either. I mean, I guess I was a little surprised. I was surprised that they were able to keep it from the whole team, and then, of course, he walked in, and they were practicing, and they were surprised to see him, and there he is. He's back with the team.
Yeah, I mean, those are the types of things you just love seeing because in this day and age, it's almost impossible to do that.
Yeah, with social media, it's impossible to keep anything quiet. It's impossible, and apparently, and according to Dexter Fowler and stuff, people were reporting false information that he had signed with Baltimore, but he didn't. So.
I just love that all the Cubs teammates thought that he was just coming to say hi to everyone.
Yeah, it turns out nope, he's coming to stay, and that also makes it interesting for Jorge Soler, who is who was going to be the right fielder, but now. Signing Fowler can have Hayward play at right field, which I think is what they're going to do.
That's
right?
What needs to happen. That's his best position. He's not getting $184 million to play, maybe average defense in center. He's getting that to do what he does at the plate and be the best defensive right fielder.
Yeah, so they're going to have Hayward in right and Fowler in center, and then that would make Maybe Soler sometimes would play in left field. I don't know. Has he played left field a lot? But
no, probably not. I mean, I'm sure there'll be days that Soler will play in right, Hayward in center, Schwarber in left.
Yeah, see, the good thing about this is they can move around a lot of things, and it doesn't have to stay the same. And that can help just a little bit. It's just it changes, so it helps. And Schwarber could see more time at catcher. We don't know. He's been working on it all spring, so we'll see how he does. Obviously he can still hit. He can hit the ball like 3 miles, but we know that he's not the best fielder, but he did a pretty nice job in left field.
I mean, he did as best of a job as he could, considering he was playing it for the first time last year.
Yeah. So, that's about that. Other than that, I mean, everything sort of seems the same. The expectations are high, of course. I think Las Vegas had them at 101 wins at one point, which might be a little too high.
That's a lot of wins.
And they, most places, at least most of the betting places where they don't really know much about sports, that they just know about, the big markets and what teams are good. They say that the Cubs are going to be the best team in baseball by a mile. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, it's still the toughest division with St. Louis and Pittsburgh. So we'll have to see how it goes. But there's no reason why the Cubs wouldn't make it back to the postseason unless they had a devastating injury to like Anthony Rizzo or something, like a core piece of the puzzle.
Right, or if, Russell and Bryant and Schwarber and Soler all go through the sophomore slump.
Yeah, that would not be good. I feel like I'm pretty confident Addison Russell will not go through that. He just seems like the type.
Thing with Russell is even if he struggles at the plate, he's going to play elite defense, and that's what's going to keep him in the lineup.
Right.
One thing that I've been reading is that it sounds like he's been showing more power because he has the power. He's a big guy. He's been learning how to harness that power to try to drive the ball to all fields and be able to hit for more power, hit the ball farther, drive the gaps.
Right. I'm pretty sure he had a home run 2 days in a row. I think that was Sunday and Monday.
Right. He's been crediting that with John Malley working with him on how to try to generate more power, keeping his hip back. He did something new with his stepping forward, way to keep his weight back, and it seems like it's been paying big dividends so far.
Right. Okay, let's move over to the Sox now as they... I guess they had a split squad today. They lost that game to the Royals 9-2, but they did beat the Rangers 8-2. So that was what the Sox did today. And they've also been hitting a lot of home runs. It seems like all their scoring, I saw Todd Frazier hit a long home run a few days ago, and I think Lowry hit a home run a few days ago. I think
Lowry had a game that one of their coaches was talking about how Lowry had tremendous power because he hit like 4 consecutive home runs in batting practice.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. Jose Abreu hit a huge bomb a few days ago too. It's it's definitely more promising on the South Side this year. Of course, the thing that still gets me is the catching situation still isn't that great. I mean, Alex Avila,
what are they going to do after this year? These guys are on 1-year deals. They're just trying to build their value to sign another maybe multi-year contract. They don't want to stay with the White Sox after.
Yeah.
I mean, unless the White Sox are better than we all expect, which I don't think they will.
Well, I think they're going to be a better team than last year. We know that. They're going to have more wins than last year. That's obvious. It's just how many more wins? Are they going to have 10 more wins than last year? I think they ended up with 74 wins, something like that. So are they going to have, if they win 10 more games, they'll be like at 84 wins. That's, roaming around playoff area. More like wild card. The problem is their division is still good. Everyone isn't giving the Royals a time of day, but they're the World Series champs, and they're not going anywhere.
Got better this offseason.
Detroit did get better.
Jordan Zimmerman and Justin Upton.
Yeah, they have a great pitching staff. They got a solid outfielder. They still have Miguel Cabrera and
JD Martinez.
Yeah, they still have a good team. And I especially like their pitching staff. If Verlander can have a bounce back year, they'll.
I mean,
possibly
Verlander
go
pitched
somewhere.
well last year. They're going to need him to build off of that and stay healthy.
Yeah, and then other than that, Minnesota was good last year. They almost made the playoffs, but we don't know what they're going to do.
The thing is, they're kind of in a situation like the Cubs and Astros, except they missed the playoffs. They have a ton of young talent on that team. They got Miguel Sano, Byron Buxton.
I don't have a pitching staff though.
That is a very good point. They do not have any pitching. They have a lot of young players, and that's the thing is, I just don't think there's enough games for the White Sox to win in that division because Minnesota's going to be better. Detroit's going to be better. The Royals are still the Royals. That's three teams that are probably going to finish ahead of the White Sox.
And the Indians are the Indians, and they never seem to do
anything. They have a great pitching staff.
Yes.
Except the thing that they didn't do is address their need for an outfielder. They did not do that, and that probably will cost them. I mean, they have Michael Brantley.
Kind of like the White Sox.
Yeah, I mean...
the Sox don't necessarily have great outfielders either. Especially in the left, Melky Cabrera.
Adam Eaton, Avisail Garcia.
Melky Cabrera did good for like 2 weeks. And all the White Sox fans were like, see, he's good. He was only,
That's
he was only good for like 2 weeks.
I wonder what his stats would have looked like if you took away those 2 weeks.
Well, especially if you look first half, second half. First half, he was non-existent. Second half, he was okay.
I'm actually going to look that up.
He's not good defensively.
Yeah. I'm going to look that up when I get home. Cause I'm sure his average would have ended up being around like 230 or 240 if you take out those 2 weeks when they went on that 7-game win streak.
Let me try to find his stats anyway.
Anyways, and then, I did like the signing of Austin Jackson to be a backup outfielder, except that the Jimmy Rollins signing puzzles me. Like, is he really that much better than Tyler Saladino that you would go and give him $2 million guaranteed?
I don't. It's like they're doing the complete opposite of what you would normally do.
Like, who would you?
Why are they signing all these?
Who would you
guys?
rather have, Alexi Ramirez for $4 million or Jimmy Rollins for $2 million? When Rollins played embarrassing defense last year and batted .220.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. It's very interesting. All right, looking at Melky Cabrera's stats, he played in 158 games. He only missed 4 games. It's pretty impressive.
White Sox fans will tell you that he's good and durable.
He's good and durable. Well, he may be durable, but is he that good? He played all his games, and he scored 70 runs.
I think he batted 273 and then hit 7 home runs.
273, 12 home runs.
12 home runs.
36 doubles.
And he was batting cleanup in a lot of games.
He only had 77 RBIs, but that's because they didn't do anything. Let's see. On base percentage 314, slugging 390.
That's terrible.
Slugging 394.
That also is terrible when you're making $15 million a year.
On base plus slugging 709.
That's all right. Yeah, I mean slugging is terrible.
He had 40 walks.
That also is terrible. That's why his on base percentage was 314
and 88 strikeouts, which is almost more than he had his whole career in a single season. He had 94 in 2011.
That's pretty good, though, that he makes contact a lot. He doesn't strike out much.
Yeah. And
do you have his first and second half splits?
I'm going to try to find it. It should be on Baseball Reference, right? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I can do splits. Here we go, 2015. Melky Cabrera. I don't know if I can do... Oh, yeah, I can go to months. All right, April, he batted 276. May, he batted 220. June, he batted 274, so he started to heat up a little bit.
How much did he bat in April?
276. He was just he was really awful in May, 220.
Okay.
And 274 in June, 369 in July. That's when they went on that big winning streak when they swept the Red Sox at Fenway
and the Indians on the road.
August 266. So that was a huge drop off from 369 to 266. September and October 252. And looking at production, he was really only an effective player for 1 month of that season. He had 23 RBIs and 4 home runs in July. Other than that, he didn't hit more than 3 home runs in a month. So that's not good. July was his month. His batting averages weren't awful, but he had no production, so that's the problem.
And he was batting cleanup in a lot of those games.
Right. Yeah, I think he would either bat second or he would bat, fourth.
Why Robin Ventura was batting him cleanup, I don't know.
Well, I think the